So welcome to tonight's episode of Make Some Noise with Doug DeJong, and that would be me. And tonight we're going to be talking and discussing with some people in the know about open mics. We're going to talk about the pros and the cons, and also to the people who actually attend, lots of them, and more importantly, maybe all the people that run them. We are actually going to be also discussing the pros and cons of what's actually going on at home. You know, well, it's all this open mic business all over the internet. Is it a great platform for development of the artists of tomorrow? So we're going to be talking all about that and all the issues that come up. So if you have any questions, please post. But most importantly, please like and subscribe. I think I'm getting used to pointing at the right. Like and subscribe and share and all that kind of thing to all the people on this platform. We need to support the arts. The arts needs your help now. So here we go. We'll bring the guests in. Here we go. There's Carl, Charlotte,
Surprise!
Steve. And Steve, how are you all?
Hey,
really good.
Hello.
And I'm just going to do the round the court. Here we go. And I'll zoom in on you first, Carl. So you want to tell us what you do and how you do it?
That's scary. I'm a muso. I also run a couple of open mic nights. I've been doing them for the last 4 or 5 years. Currently, I'm running North Burleytown Tavern on a Wednesday night, Palm Beach Soccer Club on a Thursday night, and Boardwalk Tavern on a Friday night. But that's all on hold at the moment, as we know.
Wow. And before you were running all these, were you a heavy open mic goer?
No, I've never been to one in my life. I just thought it'd be a good idea to bring some people together, and 5 years later, here we are, like still going strong. So met a lot of
good on you,
people
man.
out there. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's fantastic. All right. Well, we'll do the next guest. Here we go. Charlotte.
Hello.
How are you, Charlotte?
I'm good.
And
How are
introduce?
you?
Good, thank you. You want to introduce yourself and what you do and where you do it?
So I'm Charlotte. I like to frequent open mics. I have been since about October. I go to Carl's at the Tavern and Soccer Club. I also go to Eddie's on a Tuesday night, which is really good. And I've been to Lance's a few times at the Kera Sports Club too.
Right. So,
and I've just started this group, this lockdown mic, for the last month.
And this group has how many followers right now?
We're just coming up to about 6,000 now.
Well, that's slightly sensational, so that's awesome.
I know. That's
awesome.
It's a big surprise.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's cool. So
Yeah.
we'll come back to you about the digital component of open
Sure.
mics, and here we go. Steve, here goes Steve. And what do you do? Where are you from?
Mate, I'm a musician. I co-run the Gold Coast Musos Jam with Tony Armstrong. We've been running now for 5 years, and we run that on a Thursday night out at Springwood Tavern, the Barra Bar, and on Fridays at the Saltwater Creek in Helensvale. I'm also a married celebrant, and unfortunately,
So you've seen a few gigs, yeah?
yeah, but all it stopped.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay,
now semi-retired.
Okay, awesome. And we'll come to Brad and Deb. Here we go. You want to tell us what you do and where you do it? How you going, guys?
Hey, how you going?
great. We're doing a few of them actually. We started off at Palm Beach. We were just helping out Matt Buggy for a little while, and we eventually took over his one. That's where it started for us. That was a few years ago now, and we've also got a couple we picked up since then. We do a lot of our gigs down Ballina way, so we've been coming this way, and we found the guys over at the Shoresy. So we've been doing one over there on the last Thursday of the month.
Yeah.
And then we recently started another one at Alstonville, a little bowling club around the corner from our place, believe it or not. You could leave our stuff there and walk home. It's great.
Awesome.
They're the only one that started on a Saturday night, but that hasn't been done before, and could probably be stepping on a few toes. Who knows? But it's worth a try, I think, for the club, to have a go on a Saturday night, and it's worked out really well. So we've got that one going. And then we started doing one at the Aussie. We were doing a Ballina Idol competition. We're halfway through that for those guys. So we're hadn't started our third week and our third heats yet. So we're in limbo at the moment.
Fair enough.
We're definitely going back to that. So yeah, a few things going. But we're also musos. Get around and we play. Brad plays guitar. I do a little percussion. Jump around like idiots. I'm his loop pedal.
Well, that's cool, man.
And Brad, what do you want to add anything to that?
I don't think so. I think that'd be pretty much covered the answer to that question, mate. That's all right.
And
Yeah.
what about the platform that you guys run now?
Wow. There you go.
Well, we're running the group called The Pub with No Fear, which Debbie kicked off right back at the start of the the pandemic kicking us out of the pubs. So that's now got 4,500 members. So it's going strong. It's
amazing.
been a very busy time. It's almost like creating a music festival every weekend, but it's really good. It's filled our time. It's created a network. We've got to connect with a lot of people that we haven't spoken to in a long time, like yourself, Doug, which has been really good. So it's been a very positive experience.
Yeah, I think that's been awesome. I'll just bring everyone back. Oh, do we got one more? Hang on, and we'll add Kelly to the stream. Here we go. Here we go. And Kelly, do you want to quickly introduce yourself and what you do and how you do it?
How's it going? Kelly Penny.
Hey, Raymond.
I was a full-time user.
Yeah, I just
Now
even
spend a bit of time.
in regards to the open mics.
Oh, I run open mics. I attend. I try to make a point of attending as many open mics as I possibly can with my duo partner Wesley Kingston on sax. And we do that just because we love open mics. We love them. We believe in them. We think there's a real legitimate need for them.
Okay, cool, awesome. So here we go, and well, maybe not. Here we go. Is that the Brady Bunch start? There we go. Fantastic. So hello, Raymond. How you going? So probably straight off the bat. So everyone's done the intros, and if you are watching, please post a question right down the bottom. So probably lesson number one. So we might start with Charlotte because you're an avid goer as well to the open mics. So what drew you to go? Like, so maybe if you can maybe share some light on what you actually do. Are you a singer? Are you an instrument player? What?
Well, I was
what
kind of
draws you to
playing. I was playing at home. Always sort of played piano and guitar a little bit, and grew up with music. And then circumstances in my life changed, and I had some free time without my kids. So I was like, "What can we do?" And open mics came up. So the first one I ever went to was Carl's at the Tavern, but he wasn't actually there that night. And, you were away. Wade and Chris were hosting it, and Wade was very, very encouraging, got me to get up and sing a song and play, and I shat myself. But I carried on. They said every time you come back it'll get easier, and it definitely has. I mean, it has. I still, even like now I get so nervous, and even doing it live online I get really nervous as well. But yeah, it's just been a beautiful experience, beautiful community. Good for your confidence, good for self-esteem, and just, if you love music, then it's an amazing thing to be a part of. Yeah,
that's good. And so I guess just to repeat that, what drew you to it was the social aspect or learning something new? Like what was actually?
It was probably the social. Actually, it's probably doing something, finding something to go to and to meet people, and and being a part of having music involved was a bonus, definitely. So. Yeah.
Cool. That's good. And then, Carl, what drew you to the whole scene?
So I was playing at North Kira Surf Club every Friday night, and Daniel Kahn, that was running it, is the manager at the time. I was trying to find something else I could do to try and bring some people to the club, and I thought of doing an open mic comp. It was $1,500 prize money, and we had so many people turning up. We had like 60 people a night coming. So that all started there. That ran for nearly 3 years, that one, until the manager changed. But Daniel was the one that kicked it off. And then I went to North Burleigh Surf Club. We ran one there for a little while. Then Burleigh Town Tavern, then Palm Beach Soccer Club. Chevron Tavern, we had Battle of the Bands, which was amazing.
Yeah, I remember going to that. Yeah,
that was really good. Yeah, that was epic. And then Boardwalk Tavern, they've had some of the biggest nights they've ever had since I started the Battle of the Bands there. To a point where they can't wait to get me back. So, look, it's been a great journey. I met so many great musos out of it. There's
so
50
would
people.
you say the social? Would you say the social or the music? What drew you?
To me, it was I wanted to get paid without singing, because
Sean,
basically when you're singing 6 nights a week, your voice gets tired. So I thought, how can I get paid and not do anything? So hey, Wes? Yeah, so I just started doing open mics, try and rest my voice a bit, and then really started enjoying them. Met some really great people, and just loving it.
Oh, cool. Well, actually, before we go to the next one here, about Paul Groves. So maybe Kelly, do you want to Kelly and
I'd
Deb
like
and
to-
Brad?
Yeah, I can answer that one.
All right, Deb, if you want to go.
Well. See, I don't play an instrument either. I just play percussion, and like
But you're a
you
singer.
can just turn up. Yeah, I'm a singer. You turn up. Yeah, you run. You go and talk to the band, whoever's running it or whatever, and tell them what sort of songs you like to sing. Maybe work something out. If you can't do it that week, then just jump in and do some harmonies or something. People don't mind, and then you come back the following week when you've worked something out with the guys that are playing, and sing. And you get probably 3 songs at most open mics, roughly around about 3 songs turn around.
As far as your
Get
own,
there early, get your name on the board.
as far as your own equipment goes, it varies between different hosts. We supply all the equipment, so we supply acoustic guitars, bass guitar, cajon, everything's there for you guys to use. But if you like to bring your own instrument, you can. But that does vary from host to host. I'm sure there are some hosts that don't have everything there for you, so you just have to check in with the host before you go on the night to see what the specific requirements are for that particular open mic.
Sweet.
But certainly,
And
if you come into one of ours, you don't need to bring a thing. It's all right.
Yeah. Bring your
so
guitar.
Do you guys
Play
run
your
a
own
house
song.
band?
No, we don't
No.
run a house band.
No.
There are some setups that do. So again, hunt down the ones that do. Ours is more for soloists and duos, I guess. But there are certain venues that are well set up for bands.
Yeah.
I know the Commercial Hotel in the Ring was one of them
Yeah,
in particular that was doing really well. Christine was doing good
Yeah,
up
wow.
there. So yeah, suss it out. I mean, Debbie, tell them the name of your group on your open mic group.
Oh, the open mic group. God, that's a long name, eh? The Open Mic Guide, Gold Coast and Northern Rivers, plus far and beyond Australia.
So
awesome.
If you get onto a group like that, you can connect with all the hosts, find out what night everything's on, what time it starts, and generally there'll be a bit of information for you to have a look at as to what equipment you might need to take.
Yeah.
and also, Kelly, do you want to maybe add something to that question? Is what as a vocalist?
Yeah, well, everywhere I go to. So I'm involved directly with the Eddie's Grub House open mic every Tuesday night. And to answer your question, Steve, yeah, we do have a house band. So I'm part of that. Dale Walker, who hosts the night, and Wesley, we essentially form the house band. But to directly answer your question, Paul, just reiterate what Brad and Debbie said, there's only two places. If I'm running an open mic, you definitely need to have your own instrument, because I'm really not keen on lending my instruments out for people to play.
That's the unwritten rule, isn't it? Bring your own.
Yeah, kind of, mate. Yeah, I've got a couple of other guitars that I'd be happy for people to play. But Matt Buggy's another one. If you go to one of Matt Buggy's open mics, you definitely have to have your own instrument, because he's a left-hander, so
Yeah.
you can't play his kit. Yeah.
Hey, and maybe Steve, do you want to maybe elaborate on, because what you run is a little bit different to an open mic, and maybe explain what the point of difference is, what you do?
Yeah, we don't have a board for it, so we put your name down, and what we try and do is run a true musos jam. It's not an open mic where you don't bring your band along or you have pre-organised set list to play. We basically take individual musicians and stick them with other individual musicians and go, good luck. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But we have such a high quality musicians like Kel. And Kel, you're amazing, man. You really are. And Doug, like, we have such high rated musicianship that we can put almost anyone together and something happens out of it. And the fact is that it's all spur of the moment. It's not pre-organised.
Yeah.
So it's never a dull moment. We do supply the whole entire backline. We have everything. So, and as far as if you're just a vocalist, what we try and do is that we ask what genre music you sing. Give us a list of stuff that you know, and we'll try and put together the right musicians to give you a bit of a run. So it's not always see you later, don't come back. We try and fit everybody in, and it's interesting sometimes.
So Graham here, he runs a Muso's Jam up in Toowoomba. So with my blues session, we have a core band, so we have a lineup of to back people up. Not sure how we would run the thing without essentially a house band. Yeah, that's a fair call. So over to the next question. So also those people watching, please ask any questions. We're here to just explore this concept of the open mic. Before we go digital though, maybe Charlotte, because starting out, how long have you been going to the open mics for?
Since October.
Oh, right. So you've only been on the scene like for 4 months.
A bit longer.
Yeah,
It's a bit like 6 months.
6 months. Yeah, right.
We have lost a couple. But yeah, no, it's only been since October. Yeah, so quite new. I got really into it, and then it got taken away. I was gutted. So I started the group.
Yeah, wow. Okay, yep, that's fair enough. But my question would be, this is great that you've only just been exposed to it for just, a heartbeat, really.
Yeah.
What kind of feedback did you get from the people who run it and also the people around you as an up and coming?
Unbelievable. Yeah, unbelievable feedback. So supportive, so encouraging. God knows what I'm like when I play. I don't know, like we're very self-critical. But everyone was always just lovely. Keep going. You're doing really well. Always try again. Always keep going. And yeah, and the people that run them are amazing. So beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
You're so beautiful. And actually, I went to Brad and Debbie's, and that was one night, wasn't it? I think it was one night I could get there after going to Carl's, and it was so nice. Yeah, I loved going to your one. It was really cool. Yeah, it was really beautiful.
Yeah, no, she was beautiful. We were like, "Oh, come back again."
Yeah,
stop stealing my people.
And I just so that's great. So my point being is, from the people who were involved with it, you got direct feedback, even as in weeks ago we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
So just before we go to Carl, so Steve, this is for you. If you want to quickly drop your how do they find you? What's your social?
Mate, you can just follow me on Facebook if you want. Like I'll send him a message.
Or the Gold Coast Musos Jam.
Jam, yeah. You get your Gold Coast Musos Jam's easy.
Okay, cool, excellent. So, Carl, have you actually been to an open mic as a patron at all, or not?
Yeah, I went to Brad and Debbie's. But I couldn't get in. I was too late. I couldn't get my name on the board. They didn't want me to play.
Okay, so maybe firstly, as a patron, what kind of feedback did you get that actually motivated you to keep going back?
I get there early.
I love it.
Any other feedback besides timeliness?
No, I think we all run it pretty much the same. We're very similar people. I bring drums to mine. I bring a guitar. Kelly brings his bass. Wes brings the saxophone. We provide backline for everyone. Some of the best jams I've had with Kel at 11 o'clock at night with a couple of people we sat around, and we've had some awesome jams there. Like, it's amazing. I have people come that don't play instruments. I normally play for them. Don't know how many times I played Valerie. Holy crap. But anyway, I've played that a few times. But, we're full-time musos. I play 6 nights a week. I know most things. I might know all the words. I've got an iPad there. I can bring up the words. At Palm Beach Soccer Club, there's a lot of kids. I'll actually run it like a karaoke for them. If I don't know the song, I'll do a backing track off YouTube, and they sing, and the parents love it. Like, it's just a really good, encouraging environment. I'm happy to get the kids up. I've had kids from 9 years old back in North Kira times, like the Jade Stoddards. They've come up, which come to Brad and Debbie's. India Dupre, Imogen Rain. They were 9 years old when they came there, and they're young ladies now performing all over the world. Lily Peters, a year and a half ago, couldn't even play a guitar, and you hear her play now. I think, wow, it's just an amazing environment where we're all encouraging. They can learn from us. People have done it before. It's just, it is what you put into it too. Like, every night's a different night. You don't know who's going to turn up. It's not some people sing the same songs every night, but they get so much better at them, and the harmonies, and you see them grow, and you think it might only be 3 songs that they sing, but for them, they go home feeling like they've accomplished something. So I think it's a good environment for anyone to grow in and have a go.
I like what you said about repeating the content, because if you go and see Bon Jovi, they don't try and cover the Screaming Jets, well, maybe they would now. I've said that, but the deal is they have their rep. So, but I guess, Carl, you've just extended on already being an operator about words of encouragement. So maybe Kelly, if you want to expand on the positive feedback that you actually got, and then maybe what Carl just did, how did you help put it back to where it came from?
Oh, look, that's part of the reason I go to these things. And Wesley just chimed in. We go because we love the people that run them. When you're turning up these things, you quickly develop a relationship, and especially with Carl, I've only known Carl for about 10 months, something like that.
Fano?
Yeah, and part of the reason was just the real click we had straight away as soon as I got there. He heard what I did, expressed his appreciation for it. I love his work; he's a credible muso and singer. And Wesley's the same. I'm pretty sure I can speak for Wes. We just that's why we're such, I guess, open mic junkies, because for me it's a massive social aspect. But I just want to be alive. I want to be around live music pretty much 24 hours a day. If it was 24 hours a day, I wouldn't get a lot of sleep, because I just want to be around live music. When I met Deb and Brad, I met Deb. When I met Deb, I met her way before I met Brad. We were at the old airport pub, and we're both happy to be cruising a karaoke joint at the time, and because I hadn't discovered open mics at the time, and we've been mates ever since. We met each other that night, talked about what we were there for. I got hassled by a chick, and then I left, but now whenever I can, if I'm not gigging, no,
not taking away.
No, I know. But if I'm not gigging, I want to be at an open mic, which is where Steve and Tony's Musos Jam. It's me and Wesley will finish our gig down at wherever we might be on a Friday night, and then we go straight to the Musos Jam, because we know there's going to be a really good talent pool of musos there. Tony and Steve, they're fantastic. They're always Steve's really accommodating. And I'm really not pissing in anyone's pocket. What I'm saying is this is actually the way it goes. You know that yourself, Doug, when you go there.
Yeah.
They fall over themselves to help you out, and it's so good. It's really appreciative.
Thanks, Robin.
If I can just jump in here, open mics is so full of love, eh? Everyone totally mutually respects each other, and for everything that for their own individual art form. It's really cool. And I met him at an open mic. It was 5 hours away from the Gold Coast. Rocked into the open mic one Sunday afternoon. There he was. Did my little Pat Benatar thing and Divine stuff.
So Debbie,
instant love.
It's a good network.
Debbie, do you want to answer this question? Open mics run as an opportunity for new talent to get exposure.
Absolutely, every opportunity. That's what it's all about, isn't it? It's about exposure for everyone. Definitely, yeah.
Obviously, you get exposure to the venue that you're performing at. So obviously, I think that's why a lot of people go to these open mics. Obviously, they're hoping to get a gig at the venue. It doesn't always happen. That's not the strict reason that they're set up, but that opportunity is there. But also exposure post the night, because I know Debbie makes up videos and puts them on Facebook.
Yeah, cool.
So they get exposure that way. And what an awesome opportunity. We never got this when we started out, did we?
No.
These things didn't exist. So we had my first opportunity to play live on stage. I was taken up by a band. I went to see a band play and just spoke to one of the guys on the break, and he said to me, "Yeah, Brad, sure. Would you like to get up
like Freddie
on
Mercury
our break and have a play?" And that was how I got to do it. But that opportunity just wasn't around then. So now the kids have got an opportunity to go out, perform live in front of an audience in a pub where there's managers watching. it's an awesome experience for them to come and build up their act and get it ready to go out and perform good dollars.
Yeah, because I think that with the advent of YouTube, anyone can go home and learn an Eddie Van Halen lick, note for note, which is cool. However, from the bedroom to the stage is a completely different skill set, so you need to be able to, have eyes in the back of your head and be able to look at everyone on stage and communicate. And I was just talking to Carl before about musicianship skills that happens with an open mic, and especially with Steve, because I go to Muso's Jam as well with Steve's, is that, and Kelly would know this, you all would know this, anyone can count a song in, but what's not practiced is how do you stop the song?
Finish it.
How do you finish it? So, because I've been to some jams, it's been the 32-minute blues jam, it's like... And, but anyway, that's one thing. But maybe over to Steve, what's some of the things that... did you actually go to any open mics? I know we went to jams.
Hell yeah, man. Well, it's funny because you introduced me to Tony.
That's right, I did, didn't I?
You and I went to we were the second one he started at the Wallaby. That's 5 years ago.
And Pedro actually sent me a message.
You, So, mate, for me, when I had the full-time band, I used to use Crispy's, one of the commercial, him and Nigel. They're lovely people. I love those guys. And for me, it was an opportunity. Oh, yeah, cool as. So for me, it was an opportunity to try a new material in front of a live audience. And that's what we used to do. We used to run down there and knock 3 or 4 songs out, and every now and then Crispy give us 5 or 6. And it was a good opportunity just to put the new stuff out there in a live environment and see if anyone threw stuff at us. So it was really good.
And I think what Deb said before, we're all actually all on the same level, because it doesn't matter how good you are. Because I know I got up and to play some songs, I haven't got a clue how they go. I haven't got a clue. But that's...
Hey, mate, I get that every week.
Right. Well, that's leveling, right? That's exactly leveling.
Exactly. Look,
here we go.
I know...
Hey, Jenny.
I know
that's how Mary... So Jenny's an up and coming... Sorry, Steve. Jenny's up and coming. She's from the States. So...
sweet.
Yeah, there you go.
Hi, Jenny.
We're down and going.
So, sorry, Steve, what were you going to say?
Oh, look, mate, I know for us, although the original format is try and create a true Muso's Jam, but we do support a lot of the up-and-coming Musos. So, we've had a lot of the Musos actually form bands between each other, and so we'll give them a run. We love to promote their bands. Even Kel, we've given Kel's band a couple of runs, and a couple of young guys. We've got a band with only 14-year-olds in it, and mate, they are amazing. And for them to be able to play live and be able to do that, since the first time we've seen them, their confidence has grown tenfold. They've just got so much better, and I think that's what we need to do. Support each other. For us, there's nothing negative. It's always got to support each other. Okay,
and what's actually, does anyone else have any more tips before we start talking about the whole digital movement? So
I'd like to clean something up. The one thing that is annoying is a lot of people say, "Oh, it's all about the club trying to get free entertainment," and it's not. And this grabs me every time. I've had so many debates on it. Just for all the listeners out there, the club pay us to run it, so they pay me well to run it. I don't mind. I set my gear up, use my gear. I get paid for it, so the club's not getting for free. I've run 8 competitions now of roughly $2,000 prize money that the club puts in. So the club is supporting live music. It's music on the weekdays, which normally there's no clubs with music, so they're letting musos like us go and use the place. We get to meet people. Kel, I've given gigs to. I've got 50 people on my phone that have come to my open mic nights that I regularly give gigs to. I've given thousands of gigs away over the last 5 or 6 years to people that attend open mic nights. So there's a place for it. Stop saying it that the pubs are doing it for free to get live music, because we really over that one.
And I think what you just
said. I'm glad you said that, Carl, because that really needed to be said. Someone had to say it. Yeah, we cop it all the time as well.
All the time.
It's the same as us. We're getting paid. Yeah. It's a gig basically for us, and everyone's coming in their thing, and we're helping them, they're helping us.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
Exactly.
yeah. We cop shit too.
But you know,
mainly the people
Yeah,
that are
go
saying
for
that stuff.
When it comes down to it, what
they're the
we
people
paid,
that
we
never
paid
turn
really
up.
to lug the equipment
You're
in
right,
and lug
Phil.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not the ones there, so they don't see the community
that's
spirit
right.
that's built through these open mics. And that's
Right.
for me, of all these open mics that me and Wes go to, it's not so much about the
That's
music.
right.
I mean, that's an important factor, but it's more about the community that
It's the
we've
network.
developed, you know,
Yes.
Yeah.
and the
100%.
networking. You know, the
Yeah.
music's almost
Yeah.
second to everything else. And
Yeah.
all I just to reiterate and support what Carl says, if you're going to bitch about it, don't or turn up, because until you know and you're informed and you know what you're commenting on, you haven't got
Yeah.
a word to speak. So shut up, idiots.
That's perfect,
Yeah, that's
mate.
exactly
Because
right.
we've been
Yeah,
accused
I
of
think so.
Well said,
taking
Beth. Well
we've
done.
been accused of taking jobs off professional musicians
Yeah.
Oh,
to give weekend warriors a crack. You know, like
Yeah.
that's not true. And if you see the level of players that come to
Well,
our
that's what-
nights,
Yep.
like,
Exactly.
unbelievable.
That,
Yeah.
that was the thing, Steve, that we were thinking, and if we did a Saturday night open mic, is everyone going to crucify us for taking a professional
Yeah.
gig away?
Yeah.
Well, no.
No.
The answer is there is absolutely nothing else happening at that club for the whole month.
The same,
Nothing.
the same, the
You
two
know,
And we're,
venues
you know,
that
we're still
maybe-
getting paid. It is a professional
Yeah.
gig.
Yeah. It is.
exactly. Well, the thing is about the two venues that we have, the same thing is that they could not get anyone in the door. They were paying professional musicians and they were playing to the bar staff.
Yeah.
So the difference with us and like, man, the numbers you get, Carl, is
Yeah.
unbelievable.
It's
We're the
huge.
same. We bring our own crowd, which
Yeah.
is what the pub needs to support the pub.
Mm.
So
Right.
you know they need people to spend money over the bar to keep their business going. And if you can't supply that,
That's
well,
for Kelly.
Yeah.
you know, yeah, it's all over pretty much. So, and when you talk about the
Just
pub supporting me,
Yeah,
like
that's right.
Saltwater Creek, they give us $100 every week as a gift voucher. Everyone that walks in
Yep.
the door gets a raffle ticket free, and we draw
Exactly.
that at 1:10, and you get a $100 gift voucher if you win it, and it's
Yep.
every week.
Yeah.
So, you know, they're doing
Yeah.
they're doing their
That's
best
cool.
to bring people in and keep people. And
But I just want to also add to that, Steve, about and what Kelly elaborated on, what and Kelly and Carl, I still can't point the right way, and actually everyone. But as a musician attending these events, this is like marketing 101 because people actually meet you
Exactly.
face to face, your personality. Because I know I've played with some like Top Gun players, and off stage they're deadbeats. You know, like.
yeah.
So why would anyone work with them? You know, and so as I'm saying, if you don't, I like what you said. I can't remember who said it about. You know, I think Carl initially said it about being accused of taking away work from other musos. Though this is a place to market yourself, and you know, you go along on a Friday night, and you might get another 10 gigs out of later in your life. You know, you can promote yourself by playing your songs, etc.
Well, other
I've
than
gotten
Steve,
literally
I've met
hundreds
everyone
of
here.
gigs from open mics. Hundreds.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
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 Sorry, Carl. What were you going to say, Carl?
I said, other than Steve, everyone on this panel tonight, I've met at my open mic night.
That's cool.
Right.
So
Yeah.
if you imagine how many people I know now, musos and the likes from open mic nights, without them, I wouldn't know them. So
Right.
Yeah,
so
exactly,
Steph,
mate.
So in other words, to those people, get your head out of your ass. Is that what you're
come
saying?
and join us. Come and have fun with us. If you don't like it, then bag it out.
Yeah.
That's right.
Look, if we're there and we're set up and we're doing an open mic, let's give me I'll give you an example. On a Saturday night, so we don't generally do weekend open mics, but we are doing one at the Alstonville Sports Club, and we're there as musos, getting paid to do that night. We're not out competing with you guys anywhere else.
Yeah.
We're not taking
No.
away anyone's gig.
Yeah.
No one's losing a gig from it. Get your head out of your ass.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. That's my final word on that.
so before we
Yeah,
go
it's
to the
something you want to talk about, Doug.
yeah,
Why
so
should this
before
be,
we
why should this be a private chat? That guy just asked, why should it be private? It's an open
Yeah.
forum. We're discussing an open forum. Why?
exactly, I don't know. Here we go, Glenn Thomas. Have any you Coast guys got to that Toowoomba Blues session? I was there in May before the lockdown happened. Sleepy Town on Sunday in March a few months ago, and the pub was in the main street with hundreds in there, music happening. Amazing setup. Some fantastic music. Took me talking to a few of the locals to realise it was actually a jam. Some great guitar players, guys running the PA and plugging them all. Got up and played some amazing harp. Toowoomba has this sorted, I guess.
Street.
Yes. Sorry, mate.
Strong.
We run out of characters. That's just what happened.
Well,
But,
mate, saying that, we get so many times people will come up and go, "What's the name of that band?" And I'll go, "It's not a band."
Bob, Barry,
Yeah.
and Paul. Yeah, right.
And we get that all the time.
Oh.
So,
Well,
and
yeah.
like Carl said, like the amount of people that you meet, and like Kel, like it's about the social networking thing. And for me, like I picked up gigs in my band. I've got band members from the jam nights, and I think that's a big deal with that. And like Kel got it right on the head that the music is secondary to the camaraderie, I think.
There we go. Industry only. That's why.
Aye.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Don't agree with you, Phil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not being facetious. I just, what's
This
the
is
point of
part of
having
the
a private
industry.
chat? Why keep this private? This is
This
Yeah,
is
well,
part
open
of
mics
this
are
body,
open to
man.
the public.
Right.
It's not just musos that go to open mics; they're open to the public. So there's no reason this shouldn't. Be a
I'm not
public chat.
industry. I just like
Yeah.
going.
Well, there's no secret, is there? I mean,
Right.
that's it.
Yeah. Fair enough. Well, maybe Charlotte, we should hear from you. Like, why do you love going?
Community.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. The people, the social aspect, that's amazing. It's been amazing, and the music is obviously amazing as well. And having the chance to overcome, it's like overcoming a bit of a fear for me as well. Like doing something in front, like performing in front of people. It's a big, you're not used to it. It's a big deal. So just doing that, and it's like, yeah, it's good for your self-confidence and. Yeah, it's a gorgeous thing to do.
And being surrounded by a bunch of people who are telling you, "Hey, you're doing a really good job," really helps too. Hey, like we're all there together, and we're like hanging out with each other, telling each other that we're all doing a really good job.
Yeah.
So you come home feeling really good. 10
It's
foot solid,
good.
bulletproof.
It's really good, and that goes really well into basically with the online groups. I think, well, for the one that we've been doing this lockdown mic, it's had an amazing community there as well. I think it's like filtered through into that, and everyone in that is as supportive as the live. It's amazing as well, which I love.
Yeah.
Here we go. We're just hearing from America here. Right, fair enough. And there is why would this need to be a private chat? Makes no sense. There you go.
Exactly, Graham.
Yeah,
If you don't like it, bugger off.
Graham
And that
he
guy
runs
that-
the tour. Sorry, Kelly.
Yeah. No, you just exactly what I was going to say. What you were about to say, mate.
Yeah.
Talking about Graham running the Toowoomba Jam.
Oh, yeah, okay, cool. Yeah. So
Yeah.
he just got a good rap before from Glenn. So yeah, I guess also too, if you think of any other commercial situation, let's say, I mean, I'm not a football fan, but I do understand and respect the small grassroots entry levels. People coming up through the ranks. They've got to start and play their local club, graduate, blah blah blah, state, national, whatever. Maybe I should have done my homework before I started that analogy. However, all I'm saying is that there's a pyramid of sorts, so that people only on the top can only exist with a big support at the base. So here we go. Someone else. Phil said no.
No.
Well, nobody. Yeah, open mics provide the opportunity for different people to blend with each other. Folks that normally would hang with each other.
Yeah.
Comedian, solo, songwriter, spoken word video gives us all a glimpse of the inclusive world.
Nice.
Yes. You're
Well,
all
I'm
talk
thinking-
different.
I think another good point too is if you go to a club and someone's playing and they're really bad, you've got to listen to them for 3 hours. At least with us, it's only 3 songs, and then we get someone good up.
Can't leave, mate.
Oh.
Dad always says that. Brad goes, "Oh well, another one will be coming up soon."
Yeah, well, I'm just going to go to the toilet. I'll be back.
He doesn't always say that.
It's funny you say that because a lot of the patrons, especially at the Saltwater Creek Hotel, their feedback for us is that they love the variety.
Yeah.
You know, every act gets 3 or 4 songs, and it keeps
That's
changing.
right.
They
Yeah.
never get bored, and
Yeah.
I think you can't get that anywhere else.
No.
You know,
Totally
yeah,
agree.
we get people now that come every week just to watch. They're not musicians; they just come now. They're like groupies.
Yeah.
So that's really cool.
We've
Yeah,
got them
I think-
too. Good, hey.
That's awesome.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Here we go.
Hey, Chris.
Here we go. I can't keep up with all the. Here we go. Sorry, no, don't be sorry about our accents. America has different accents.
Can't understand us.
Veronica supplies visual arts. Yes, that's very true. And g'day, how you going, Chris?
Hey,
Graham.
Chris.
Younger
Hey, Chris.
guitarist started to come to my ugly session blues jam when he was 15. By the time he was 19, he was playing with the band at Broadridge Festival. That's what's that's all you need is one person to flip the dice, right? It's a game
Good on you,
changer.
Graham.
That's sensational. So, I mean, I've heard that story too about this annoying kid coming into the music shop over and over and over and over. This is quite a famous story in America, and ended up this guy kept asking to play all the expensive guitars, and that was
That wasn't you.
well, probably wasn't. I'm the same, but it ended up being George Benson, right? So, and same with I remember speaking to Jim Marshall actually about his music shop in England. The guy who made an amplifier that changed the world was telling me about Mitch Mitchell, the drummer, who used to come in and annoy the hell out of him. And next, he connected him with Hendrix, like rest is history. It's just amazing connection. So, here, thank you. Enjoys coming live stream. So, just before because I want to talk about heavily
Charlotte.
about the whole digital situation, but we should. Has everyone got their cup? See, we have who's got the best cup.
Oh, I can't show you mine.
Why not?
It's too empty, that's why.
So there we go.
Here's mine.
So
Let's see if there's some people from Ballina who recognise where this might be from.
oh, so if you can, all the audience that are watching,
Stephen
Yeah,
can talk about
the
it for sure.
manager gave it to me.
so I just want to thank my
shut shop.
I just want to thank my mum for this because when she gives me all these strange gifts, I'm like, when the freaking hell am I going to use this? So I just did. I just did. Okay, so
But my guitar fell off.
okay, so if we go straight now to the whole digital platform, so here we are in the middle of this virus lockdown, and so it's a completely different beast. I know off air I was talking to Carl about some technical situations. It's been, I don't know, sort of Scott Watman. Here we go, Chris. We've got some people here. Steve has the best cup. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, Scotty.
Hey, Dom.
Jamie spatula. Look at my spatula. Isn't it cool?
Oh, yeah.
Before we used to get our pizzas out of the oven.
Steve wins. Steve wins.
Steve's got it.
Hang on, wait, it gets better. Can you see this? Little
Ah,
dudes,
that's nice.
I've got one of those too.
There you go.
And there's
So-
the purple one. It's so
Oh,
cute.
cool.
Yeah.
Well, it's not a cup. We're having a cup competition, mate.
The tiny cup.
Oh, no, here we go.
Cutlery next
Oh.
week.
I think Steve wins. He's got like 3
You have a
comments.
little guitar on your
Yeah.
cup, so
Here we go.
Oh, here we go. Fantastic.
There you go.
Awesome.
That's my cup.
Get away, go to your trouble.
Okay, so-
Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, so onto the digital platform. So maybe Charlotte, do you want to go first? Maybe what inspired you to start the digital platform and what experience you've had with it?
So obviously the open mic venues shutting down, and
Yes,
me
yeah.
being really into going to them. After a few days, I was like, no, this is no good. Need to do something so we can all
CJ.
still connect with each other and still play. So yeah, I decided to start the lockdown mic group, and just invited everyone I'd met who I could from my Facebook, who I knew who went to open mics or who would appreciate live music, or England, Australia, and from there it just the people that I invited invited their friends, and it's just become a big community, a lovely big community.
So,
Yeah.
how long ago did you actually start the lockdown mic?
It was sort of
Page.
towards the end of March, I think it was. So it's only been about 5 weeks, I'd say. Yeah.
5 weeks, and you've grown it to what, nearly 6,000 people.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's
Yeah.
that's over in
amazing.
1,000 a week. That's sensational.
Yeah, it's really amazing, and it's lovely. And what I love about it is the community in there and how supportive people are with each other, and and just seeing the talent that comes up, and what people are sharing, and people like facing their fears and putting their stuff out there, and it's really cool.
So,
That's
and I guess you just mentioned something really cool there about promoting it to England, your mother country per se.
Yes, my mum.
So, the other thing I would like you to elaborate on is your own personal experience about, is it still nerve-wracking performing like this, or do you have a better experience performing live?
So performing live, I find really, it was getting easier. It was getting easier. It depends where, at Carl's,
There's one for you.
easier. Oh, thanks. At Eddie's, I always found it really intimidating and really hard to get up there because it's so busy and it's a really big crowd and it's really loud. You have to sing really loudly. But going live online, I still find really nerve-wracking. I still get my heart's going and I'm shaking. And but if I record today, I recorded a song and it was fine. I was like, I wasn't that worried about it. So I really like the live thing, and I love it when people post live when they go live, and you can catch them live. And I think that's a really nice interaction. It's a lot more intimate, and it's cool. It still kind of has that open mic essence.
Okay.
Yeah.
And maybe Carl, what's your experience of performing
Shocking, horrible.
online?
Oh, yeah.
Wrecking my OCD. I tried to put this big show together with multiple cameras and the best sound, and every time something goes wrong, the camera drops out. Last night I couldn't log on. And then Deb goes, "Oh, Carl, just use the phone." But the problem is we didn't have any speakers because it was coming straight out of the PA. So I was like, so I'll give it one more try next week. I'm a live person. I react a lot with the crowd too, and I get my energy from that. It's hard singing to a dot,
It is.
You can't beat live.
Totally agree.
Okay.
I'm a live person, but it's got its place. I've found people on there that are amazing, like Rod Rhodes. Rob, I've never heard him before. Living in the 70s.
Yeah.
Dougie, I've heard you play at my open mic night, but I didn't realise how good you really were. So that's always good. Brad and Deb, I've never heard them live, but I have now.
Sorry.
Yeah, well, tired.
You guys are cool.
Not sleeping much.
Chris.
But I miss that. Like, even Kelly comes down, and I don't know jazz, but I jump on the drums with Kel, and we get to have jams and stuff. I miss all that stuff. I miss, the cuddles. I get lots of cuddles at my open mic nights.
From Kelly?
Kelly. He is great cuddle. It's called a man hug, is that right, Fado? Yeah, but live, it's got its place. People are really good at it. Scott Watman seemed to have nailed it. I think he might have a camera crew there because he's so good.
Oh, yeah, crazy.
He's got a 50,000 watt PA. Yeah.
Rob Rhodes has knocked it out of the park. He's awesome. He's got a little foot changer.
Yeah.
But with Rob too, he's first to give up what he does, and he contacts me outside and says, "How you going?" And he's so supportive. It's been really good. I've met a lot of people online that I never would have met because I gig 6 nights a week. I don't get to see anyone, so it's been good for that. I think I like that part of it.
Yeah, we're the same. We're the same. We finally get to see all the people that we've never seen before because we're all doing circles around each other on the weekends, and you never get to see anyone else play. So that's the best part about it. We've loved that. But I am enjoying this whole online thing because it's different and it's new and it's fresh. Like for some of the reasons Charlotte said too. But I just think you can't beat peer-to-peer interaction. Like being in the same room with a bunch of people all there in the flesh. Like the live thing it's always going to be different. to the real thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're always going to need an interaction. You need that interaction with people.
So, how was your experience of actually going live? Have you loved it or hated it?
Well,
Debbie.
we don't even notice. We're just doing our thing anyway.
Just feels like you're doing a gig. To me, it just feels like you're doing a gig.
Making mistakes, tripping
It's to a
over.
camera, it's to a person.
Dropping the phone.
We still turn on the same show.
Yeah,
It's,
we're classes.
it's
But
an act,
it's
isn't it?
working
To
for
a
us.
certain extent. To a
Okay.
certain extent, what we do is a bit of a musical act. All of us, really. You know, you get up there and you're acting as in a persona, aren't you? So
Right.
to do that to a camera really isn't that much different. I don't find for doing it to a live.
We've been ourselves. We've been ourselves.
What do you think?
And it, yeah, sorry, have you both explored that? So, no,
Yep.
okay,
Yeah,
cool.
you
And
go. You're safe.
Yeah, move on.
You can sleep soundly tonight.
okay, cool. Otherwise, I'll get a message from Debbie and say, "Hey, I want to say something else."
What about me?
Too late. So, Kelly, I know with you actually do some insight sharing. I don't know what's another word for it. Maybe monologues. Not just live streaming, but you actually share personality, traits and stuff. So, how did that come about? Was that a confident thing? Did it just develop naturally, or were you very, very nervous doing that?
No, not really, Dave. I'm not generally nervous about most things. I take a pretty chilled out, relaxed attitude to probably everything in my life. And when I do my shows, it's always just it's like I'm jamming at a party with my cousins. Like that's how I grew up playing music, and I interact that way. And then sometimes, like I did my first ever live was on Deb and Brad's page, and the Pub with No Fear. And I just thought I don't want to set up and be like contrived about it, so I just shot out to Point Danger and sit up there with the sun going down in the background and surfers, and it was really chilled out and relaxed,
Yep.
As far as the monologues go, like sometimes I took on board, I became aware of how overwhelming this situation is for the planet. And, I just thought I'd share some profound insights that I was experiencing and maybe threw that out in the form of just a monologue rather than playing anything. And, a couple of them, I just got the guitar and had a little jam. People made requests while I was doing the monologue. So, yeah, my thing is that I like to be chilled out. That's all. I don't like to put too much pressure on myself. Expectation is the father of disappointment. So I just be as chilled as I can.
Okay, and maybe over to Steve. Have you done any live streaming yet?
No, and you know why. you guys don't know, but I actually partially torn 2 tendons in my left arm. So for the last 18 months, I've been trying to get those guys to heal while still trying to play guitar. And I got in a lot of trouble from my specialist who barred me from all instruments. And so I picked the guitar up today for the first time in 5 weeks. And, the brace is off at the moment.
Hey,
good.
Oh, congratulations. There we go.
Yeah, it's slowly getting better, mate, but it's a long way from being right. So,
Okay.
over the last year, I've been playing with half a numb hand, fingers, pins and needles. I can't feel the strings, and it's not made it very enjoyable.
Yeah.
And when music is your life and the doctor says you can't do that anymore for a while, it's like, oh, really? So the lockdown thing actually went in my favour because, I get the time to sit at home and heal, I guess, which is a good thing.
Right. So perfect timing. Yeah, right.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. All right.
So
well, what about...
it frustrates me because I see you guys having a ball.
Mate, I was standing on my amp
Yeah.
playing behind my head the other day, so that was pretty dangerous.
What about with your toes, Doug?
Yes.
Toe
I
up.
actually
That was pretty
played
Oh,
my Strat with my toe. It's a true story. Yes.
Very good.
Anytime.
thank you.
That would be a toe jam.
I said that. And I said, Because I asked you to do it with your toes several times, now I feel like I've got to set you a new challenge.
Oh,
Okay.
There's not much left.
Oh,
he doesn't
no.
need any encouragement.
I've been working on this guitar. Can you see the twin neck? See?
Oh wow.
Been,
Right.
yeah,
Very nice.
yeah, we're working on that. Okay, so what about, or leading into that, what about Charlotte? What about a, what's been the, oh, here we go, someone's elbow toes. Yeah, well, that's actually true. That happened. Is your tongue better now, Doug? Yeah, actually, I stabbed it because I was playing the guitar with my tongue. I need to go and get a cast, put it in. But, yeah, it's funny, you know, like actually doing the shows. I just, oh, here we go. Lucky it was a rolling cube, Doug, not Final Form. Thanks, mate. Yes, because I have been known to jump all over the stage and crowd surf and just act like a freaking idiot, and I'm the first to admit that. Hang on, new challenge. They call it the helicopter. I used to have a mohawk. I've told this story before, yeah, but I have done some. Here we go. Some strange things that I probably shouldn't have. But anyway, I guess I'll tell that story again another time about playing guitar behind your head. And oh, here we go. Well, I may as well tell it now again.
Tell it now.
Oh well.
Don't start half the story. You got to tell it now.
I had, what's that cinnamon whiskey stuff called? Fireball in America. It's the first time I ever had it. Oh my lord, it was out of control. Anyway, they said we're going to save the Aussie to last, and I was like, oh, seriously, because I thought I was going to get up and play in this band straight up. Anyway, saved me to last, which was probably not the best move. And there was this like crowd barrier with like a 4-inch rail. Said, yeah, easy, I got that. So I did a guitar solo playing behind my head and jumped straight on the rail. Like, you know, I should be able to stay there. Fell off playing behind my head and into the crowd. And I thought, that's it. This is going to be a really expensive operation because it was not my gear. And then as I fell, I fell on the crowd. And I was surfing, playing guitar behind my head. And it was like,
Cool.
could not.
Cool.
And yeah, and I was like, this is kind of awkward because now how am I? Thanks, Chris. New Zealand guitar. How am I going to get back on the stage from this position?
cares?
Yeah,
Exactly.
well, I sort of floated around. I couldn't really do anything. Then the crowd sort of dipped and then threw me back on the stage. And I was like, oh, this is going to hurt. There I was. Then I got this massive applause and row and rock and roll. And they said, oh, you're crazy, rah, 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 rah. And I was like, man, I was scared. I thought I was going to die. You know, but anyway, so that was a real life experience. But just the other day, standing on my amp, playing on live stream, playing behind my head, I nearly fell off it because I only noticed I only have 3 feet on my amp, not 4. So it was a bit rocking. So anyway, over to Charlotte. Oh, here we go.
So does that mean it's more of a triangle than a cube?
Yes.
I only have 3 feet on my leg.
I think so.
Oh, okay.
So Charlotte, what's your live stream fail?
Ooh,
What's happening, Charlotte?
my children. My children being there probably. I don't know.
Your children being well,
Yeah,
totally
being
rock and
a-
roll, Alicia.
Going live when there's kids and animals around, that's not good. I wouldn't recommend it. Yeah. Well, it's quite nice, I suppose. Yeah. you
Epic
can't
story.
control.
Thanks, Scott. So yeah. So what's the funniest? Yeah, maybe fail or funniest story.
Oh gosh. I don't know.
Streaming, live stream.
Streaming.
Oh, we can come back to you.
I haven't done that many, so nothing that bad has happened, thank goodness, yet. Yes.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Carl, live streaming fail.
Every single one I've done so far. But
Oh.
other than that, I've got the sound down because Dean's sort of that's just the camera on it. So that camera's shocking, and our internet's really bad.
Right.
So
Yeah.
someone wrote it before something about the NBN being old crap copper. Yeah, that's right. Like it's, you know, it works from lunchtime through to about 5 o'clock. Everything's great. As soon as Dean gets here, everything goes mad. So I don't know why, but anyway, we'll try this weekend, mate. Well, whenever we're on
More
next,
people on
see how
there.
we go.
A lot of people are saying that it's got to be the high traffic volumes.
Yeah.
Has to be.
You know, like the world's out of work.
Yeah,
I
people
think
way out.
that's what
People
it
coming
is.
home from work.
Stops.
So, yeah.
That's for Carl.
Mm.
In the back, yeah, thank you.
So maybe Kelly, live streaming fails.
I looked at mainly.
You go up the street, don't you? You get in your
If
car
I-
and go up the corner.
Well, no, I don't want to do that, Dad. It's cold. Mainly, that's the main one. That's the main one, Doug. It's everybody's experiencing. I notice when Mel Scarlett goes, she dies. I have a bad reception day. But the biggest one is for me. Like, I'm just a numpty at this technology stuff and trying to use my phone around the wrong way. And like, I thought I'd set it up and be real starry and put it in the jungle room, and I couldn't read my phone and couldn't actually tell that my internet had fallen out. So I was playing probably 10 or 15 minutes just to myself because I didn't know. That was a bit embracing. So.
That's funny. What about
Well, then you, Dougie, you got locked out of something. Your screen went blank when you were doing an interview.
I was doing something like this, and then there was some idiot crashed into a power pole and took the electricity out, and I got kicked off my own show. Yeah.
Gone.
Yeah. But anyway, but it came back, so I don't know. It might have been as safe to switch. What about Brad and Deb? Live streaming fail.
You obviously didn't see me play on Sunday.
No, I did. I did see a little bit. Yeah.
Oh, so you did see a live streaming fail then?
But just for everyone else.
No, actually, our phone was out in the sun on Sunday and it failed on us.
Sun.
So there's a tip for anyone if you are live streaming.
A thermal.
Don't have your
Thermal.
phone in the sun.
Mine did that too.
Because when it first started, it wasn't in the sun. But as the afternoon, as the hour passed through, the sun came around on it. And I did mention to Brad. I said, "Oh, look at that! It's in the full sun. I wonder how long it'll last." Not very long.
It didn't last very long. It overheated. Yeah, so we lost that
temperature gauge come up.
Some phones in the sun.
But that's it. We did get told by someone we're too far away, and the sound is not coming through clear enough. But that's because we've been trying to keep the logo of the stage in the shot. So we might have to change a different angle, get out of the sun, put it on a different angle, see how we go. Yeah,
it's a new challenge every time, isn't it, guys? Every time you go online, try and stream.
Let's face it, we're not cameramen, we're musicians, and
we're only a couple of months into it too. It's not as if we've been doing the online streaming thing for as many years as we've been doing venue gigs. So it's a new learning curve every time.
Yeah, what'll happen, mate, is you'll get it all sorted, and then we'll be back to work.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And then we'll get paid by Centrelink.
Yeah, but then JobKeeper will come through once we're all back at work.
So, Steve, what about a internet fail?
Oh, bloody all the time, man. Like the last couple of Muso Jams talks we've done, I've had my computer have a meltdown 3 weeks in a row. So I had to buy a new one. So that's happened. That's all good. And in between that.
Oh, because I was there and just he just gets Tourette's every time it melts down. The laptop becomes a flip top, like lifts it up and throws it against the back wall. So, it's good.
It's gone, mate. It's all over. But the same deal. Like it depends on what time of the day. Like same deal. I struggle too with the internet. It's just the traffic. Yeah. Need more of these.
Right.
It's with the internet too. It's the same deal, mate. It's the traffic because it depends on what time of the day it is. It's really slow or it just doesn't work. So it's very frustrating.
Here's a fail. Best fail I heard was David Guetta leaving a USB stick in a taxi and had to cancel a concert. Everyone saying
You're kidding.
Oh, that's kind of funny.
No backup.
Yeah, no backup.
Could have made an acapella.
Oh, you got Spotify.
Yeah. Oh,
yes.
Yeah, that's a good backup.
I did a gig probably 3 years ago, and because of the jam, I don't have a full-time band anymore, so I just pull it whenever I get booked gigs. Depending on the venue and what the genre request is, I pull the musos in from the muso jams. So I've got probably 10 guys, 11 guys and girls that I use. And we did one gig where the vocalist was relying solely on her song cheat sheets to do the vocal part. She left them behind on the kitchen table. And we are like probably 70 to 80 kilometres from her house. That was interesting.
Google on the phone.
Yeah, well, she tried that, mate, and it was interesting to say the least.
So talking about post-COVID, because on Monday, Year 11 and 12s and also Preps and Year 1s are going back to school in 5 days. And following that, on the 25th of May, all the other kids should be going back to school. So what's the date today? The 5th? So in 20 days, less than 3 weeks. So just an opinion, a forecast opinion, maybe start with Charlotte. Do you think all this live stream... Oh, there's Licia. Make sure you follow Licia.
Hey,
She's awesome.
Unbelievable. Awesome.
Mate, what do you think, Charlotte, will happen with all this whole lockdown situation if the world comes back to normal in 3 weeks?
I think it will still remain. I think because a lot of people who don't go to open mics will maybe still use it as a way to post their content and, check out other people. It won't be as busy, but, people going back to work. But hopefully it will just be somewhere for people to still connect and, share their music.
Yeah.
I think.
So, especially, I guess, are you getting feedback from your friends and family in England?
Yeah. As
Positive support? Live streaming.
Yeah, I mean, it's lovely. I mean, my sister sometimes and her daughter will do us something, and my brothers, and no, it's really lovely. Yeah, it's just nice to see them getting involved, and hopefully my mum will do something.
Fair enough. That's good. Yeah. Your mum's a muso. That's good.
Yeah. Go on, Mum.
Awesome.
Show us your stuff.
Put the challenge down.
English song, some Beatles. Here's a question. So maybe for Carl, here's a question: for when open mics are back, can I bring a phone or something and plug in for backing, or does everyone prefer real life backing? I guess
either. I can either play it live, or you can plug your phone in, or I got an iPad there, whatever you want. We're there to make everyone welcome, no matter what you do. If you play the spoons, come on down. You're going to hit the cajon, I'll bring the drums, jump on the drums, have a go. Whatever you do, we're there to make music.
Or hopefully, and if that doesn't happen, someone might be able to play it for you.
Exactly. There's the spoon.
And we second everything he said.
What's that? Sorry.
I said we second everything he said.
Look, we do prefer and encourage people to bring their own instrument and play an instrument. But by the same token, we don't turn anyone away. If you want to bring your phone and use it as a backing track, and what we do encourage people to do, we've got quite an extensive list of songs that we can play ourselves. So we would prefer that. Maybe even if it's set up earlier, we can learn to play that song live for you, or we can play it live for you on the night. But if it comes down to someone who's got a sensational backing track, we don't turn them away. So yeah, come on down with your phone, come on down with your backing track. That's all good.
Yeah.
But if we do play the song live, we prefer to play it live for you.
Fair enough. And so, Carl, finishing off the question, post-COVID, do you think live streaming will still exist?
100%. I think it's a new way of getting to see people you don't normally get to see. I know there's a lot of people I want to see live. I'd love to go see Rob live. And there's a guy down in Sydney, Jay. Did you see Jay on there with the long hair?
Jay Carino.
Amazing.
Jay's awesome,
Jay's
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
And Jesse Morton. Amazing.
Yeah.
Now that girl with the pink hair, is that her name?
Yeah, she's amazing. There's so many amazing artists on these groups.
And Scott Watman, I've heard heaps of Scotty, and to actually hear his band play, that was good too. So
okay, that's cool.
Good bands out there.
And maybe this, here we go, just before we go to Kelly, says a bit dubious about this post-COVID. With things opening up, I think we may see a new spike into things, and sadly I fear pubs and clubs to be the last to be unlocked.
Yeah, bring your own mic.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Totally.
That's one thing that will change.
Hygiene.
We'll probably say bring your own mic. Yep, that'll be the main thing that will change.
Yep. So
I did see it just only last day or two, man. Northern Territory are talking about already opening up their pubs and clubs in the next couple of weeks. That's the Northern Territory.
Yep. And Schools spread to younger grades, blah, blah, blah. Yep,
All right.
flu's nets spread it, yep. So, okay, so Kelly, post-COVID, will streaming, well, maybe even if you want to answer it personally as well, like, do you think you will still live stream, and do you think streaming will be a thing? Wash your own mic. Johnny Blunt is an amazing, like, everyone needs to go see Johnny. He's amazing, dead set amazing. Yeah, doing the whole Freddie Mercury show. Yeah, Killer Queen. Sorry, Kelly, you're over to Kelly.
Yeah, I'll still do lives. And I don't think it's going to go away. I mean, I'm a member of a page out of New Zealand with 65,000 members.
Wow.
And that's incredible. The breadth and depth of talent on there. I don't know where these people, like, they're coming out of the woodwork now.
They're all like professionals.
It's called New Zealand.
Like some of the, yeah. But some of the,
You guys in New Zealand
including, and it's
insane.
happening here as well, even on the pub and the lockdown pages. There's people coming out of the woodworks now. Obviously, they're well known in their own areas, but the exposure they're garnering now, literally worldwide. I think there's about 60 countries tuned into the Lockdown Mike page. I'm not sure about Debbie and Brad's page.
Yeah, we're the
Wow.
same as
But
that.
you're getting worldwide exposure now. A perfect example is your friend in the States, Dave. And Charlotte's family over there. I know there's heaps of Kiwis tuning in to what's going on over here. So I can't see this going away in a hurry, and I hope it doesn't, because, if they've got half a pea for a brain, most of the talent scouts in the industry will be on these pages scouting for talent, because it's just there and
It's mind
it's there
blowing.
and by the truckload.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I've seen some vocal acrobatics in the last week that just mind-bending.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
never seen it in the commercial scene, but these little dark horses coming out of these back and beyonds, getting on this live streaming and just going, and you're just sitting there going, where the fuck did they come from? Why aren't they famous?
That's
Literally.
right.
Well, they will be
Why
now.
aren't these people out there? So
I know.
just for that reason alone, I think live streaming's here to stay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I nearly
People haven't got the
died.
confidence. Sorry, Deb.
Sorry. I nearly died when I saw Jessie as well, eh? Like, oh, God, we couldn't believe how good she was.
Amazing.
We
Yeah.
cranked her concert up again and listened to it again.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
man, her
talented.
original music, I can't wait to buy it, eh? It's beautiful.
The other guy that got to the guy that got to me that really stood out, blew me away, Naomi Sonetta.
Yeah,
and he's from Sydney, and I'm not gonna go into to what he's doing down there in Sydney, but he's not getting paid enough, I can tell you that much.
Yeah.
But this dude, with 2 minutes' notice, we needed someone to fill in for us, and he did the next hour and a half sitting cross-legged on the floor, singing and playing stuff like Mr. Brownstone, Guns N' Roses,
Yes.
If You Want Blood, AC/DC, and all this amazing stuff, sitting down on the floor. Who can do that? No microphone, no PA, no nothing. And when he needed to sing AC/DC, like really belted out, he just turned his head to one side and went, whoa. You're like, wow, this guy.
I do believe he's watching.
He's really, really good.
Sure,
If you
he's
get to
watching
check
this
out
program.
Naomi, check out Naomi as well. He's
Yeah.
really cool.
So, just before I ask you that question, then Brad, but
Yep.
yes, Scott, I'd love to see a drum solo. I'm a drum
Yeah,
fan.
put it
go.
on the group.
Yeah,
Go
bring it
for it,
on.
Sam.
Yeah. Stick it
Yeah.
on.
So,
Hey, Scotty, can you do Maybe Dick?
Maybe Dick.
Maybe Dick.
We want to see
yes.
Maybe
Thank
Dick
you very much. That's my request.
in its entirety.
cool. So, Brad and Deb, post COVID, do you think streaming will still stay?
Yes,
Yeah, for sure.
absolutely. Same reasons everyone's been saying. It's the same thing's happening with us.
There he is.
We're playing to people all over. Yeah, there he is.
Hey, Naomi.
We're playing to people all over Australia. It's amazing. Like, when we finished, like I initially wanted it to fold up. I thought, like it was probably a really bad way to think. But at first I was thinking, come out and like, come out to real venues and see the real musos in the flesh. Get that interaction that I was talking about before. Being in the same room with people playing music and enjoying it, But then when you got people watching from WA and from New Zealand that can't come and see you next Friday night at the local pub, what are you going to do? Stop?
Yeah,
Tell them bad luck? No. I want them to be able to see. and I want to see everyone else. So I hope it doesn't stop.
Okay. And
No, it's a
Steve.
perfect platform to show people what you got. Like it's free advertising pretty much. Like it's where you're going to get that. So and like everyone here is like you guys have met each other, and for me, Carl, and it's we I do the jam like the same night you guys are working, so I don't get to I don't get around too much, which is unfortunate. So the only way I would get to meet you is like here.
Online.
So, exactly.
Okay, I better get it right next time.
So I think what everyone's saying is that the depth of talent that you would not normally get the opportunity to see, we get to see it, and it's just amazing.
Yeah.
So I can't see it going anywhere, mate. I think what will happen is people will get a bit more savvy with the technology. They'll get a bit better at it, a bit more comfortable with it, and I can't see it going away.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe. Sorry, you go, Deb.
No, I was just saying it's the new world. Like it's going to be both ways now. That's it.
Yeah, but also we need to find a balance. Obviously, we need people coming to the venues as well. So we don't want to turn people
stream the live venues. Stream the live open mics as well.
Well, yeah, that's another option, Charlotte.
It'd be lovely.
Sure, but we definitely don't want people from going out into the real world and coming and seeing us live.
The real world.
So maybe for people who don't get a chance to see you normally because they're so bloody far away, maybe Debbie and I, for example, if we were going to perform to people that don't get to see us on the weekend, we could do it on a Wednesday night or a Tuesday night where we're not competing with the venues that we're trying to support.
Good
we
point.
don't play live on the weekends. We don't want people sitting at home watching the internet.
That's
instead
right,
of
on weekends.
We already have that problem a little bit at one of the venues we play where people are sitting at home because they can hear us from their veranda. So they can hear it just as clear from their veranda. They sit at home, don't even come to the pub.
I yell out to them. I get on the microphone. So I know they can hear us from 3 blocks away, and I call them all out one by one. I go, come to the pub.
We need to see everyone back out of the pub.
So maybe two more.
Watch live streaming if that's the only way you can do it, but people need to
encourage them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to ask maybe 2 more questions from everyone, and then we'll probably wrap it up. And so maybe Charlotte, if you want to go first. So the whole concept of being, if you're a plumber, you get paid for your work. If you're a musician, you get paid. However, it's a very, very grey area. I mean, I'm still learning. This is a developing space for me, and not just me, for lots of people. What's your thoughts and opinions? And do you actually, because you run a very successful page, do you know anyone who's actually converting to dollars? No. Not just free advertising, but actually there's a conversion happening. And I know, it's sort of hard when the whole world is ending, etc. But yeah.
Not on the lockdown, no. I think money's not involved in any of it at the moment. I think it's more like Deb and Brad's page where the PayPal's up and it's set to support the artists, but on lockdown it's just like to express, I guess.
Okay. And what's your view on it though? Would you support musicians wanting to get paid doing their thing?
Absolutely, yeah. It's a craft they've spent years perfecting, so I think that they should get rewarded if they can. Definitely. Yeah,
we got a point here, Graham. Yeah, we're not getting paid for live streams, lockdown pages. That a problem as devaluing things, No,
I don't think it's devaluing. With it, it's just you don't have to do it.
No, that's true. It's whatever the way you look at it, what you can take out of it. There's definite advantages in doing it. You're building your profile. You're getting seen.
Yeah, exposure.
While this lockdown's on, people are still getting a chance to see you. So how could it possibly be a waste of time or doing that? That's just not true.
Just in this point in time, it's lovely. It's lovely that we have the technology to do it. I think for musicians to actually be able to still play for people.
Yeah. Okay. And Carl, what's your thoughts? And do you know anyone who's actually converting this experience into dollars?
Yeah, I've made $200 out of it with my PayPal account.
Really?
With all the bad nights too. Hey, how good's that? It's I think you need quite a few thousand on your site to be paid. Like Charlotte's site's building, both sites are building. I think by the time you get a couple of thousand people on the site, you might be able to make some money.
So this is from Johnny. At least live streaming, the performer will get the rider they asked for.
Yeah.
Oh, Johnny.
Just like that, they've only got themselves to blame for.
Oh
That's it.
God, I need to
Speak
get
to the
Johnny
man in
back.
the mirror.
I got to get Johnny back on here. Okay, got to find out how to live stream Electric Kit. Real dancing is far better than exercise at GIF grouping. Live stream could be popular, and we got Graham. It's a great release. Sudden laughed a lot.
Yeah.
It's the old play for exposure argument. Yes, it's an argument. Yeah. So anyway, Carl, you actually just said you actually made some money, right?
Yeah, and if he wants to live stream an Electric Kit, when we did the 3-piece, we had the Electric Kit, just run it through my mixer and then straight into the desktop.
Yeah, it'd be a lot better too, I think.
Yeah, heaps easier. Yeah,
Yeah.
tell him to have a look at my post, the one that actually worked that night. But, for a little while. Look, I don't think it's about the money either, because I think most people that are watching are broke musos that don't have gigs, same as us.
I agree.
But I think, at the end of the day, I have found a lot of people that I'd like to go and see, and it's good to see what other people are doing, because like Steve said before, when we're out doing it full time, 6 nights a week, I don't get to see anyone. So it's nice to see what other people are doing and getting some idea. I've learned a lot from watching other people too. So
Yeah, that's what we said too.
yeah,
And Kelly, the whole concept of converting this into a paying experience. What's your point?
Look, I got on board because Deb and Brad told me what their concept was, and I was happy to do it. And I sort of adopted Rob Rhodes' attitude towards it. Deb wanted me to get my PayPal account too, but I sort of thought, I often say to people, I do this job for free.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
sometimes I do. I do a lot of charity gigs every year. And so I kind of express that, I don't put a PayPal account up because I'm really not in it for the money. But the upside to that has been people have sent me private messages and said, can I pay you for it? And I'm like, that's not necessary. But they sort of said, I'd like to. And I'm sort of similar situation to Carl. People have been very generous. And I haven't been, it wasn't my intent going in to get paid. It was just to share. I love sharing.
Yeah.
I love sharing my background of music, what shaped my musical ness, how I am now and how I roll. I'm not out there to we're all in the same boat. And Rob Rhodes captured it perfectly. Everybody's in the same boat. We're out of work. A lot of people tuning in are out of work too. Don't expect any money from them. So
Right.
Mm.
Yeah. I think that's also. Sorry, Deb. Just before you go, I think it's a good point there because some people actually like to pay because of gratitude. They're not paying to provide a lifestyle for you. That's the only way they know how to say thank you.
Exactly.
And I know it's age-old thing, like, oh, no, you don't have to do that. But musicians are the worst in the world taking any kind of compliment. So, I think that was... I remember a story of... well, it's not a story, it's actually happened. Is when I went to Bali and saw this family and they didn't have a house or blah, blah, blah. So anyway, long story short, I gave them $300 of whatever the hell it was. I can't remember the currency. And
Rupiah.
to build them a shack. Well, they called it a house, but a piece of corrugated iron, a couple of bits of timber. It wasn't really that's the least I could do. Like that was for grandma. It was sitting on the floor. I mean, just dirt. But anyway, but that's how I showed gratitude. They said they didn't need the money or whatever, and like it didn't really mean much to me. But Brad and Deb, what's your point on the whole getting paid to play and actually making it happen?
Getting paid to play online for online streaming.
Yes.
Well, we encourage everyone to put up their PayPal link.
But that's not because. Hang on, can I just jump in?
Go for it.
It's not because we want anyone to do that. We just suggest that you should, because you should. Like Kelly, for instance, is always turning up to everyone's open mics and is world-class standard and plays for free every single time. He never ever wants a cent for it. It's really hard to try and make him take any money for it or even get a bloody photo out of him. So, he just doesn't want to be pimped out, do you, Kelly?
Don't have to pay for haircuts, Debbie.
I'm not in the game for that, hon. That's not why I'm in the game. I'm in the game because I love it.
That's the reason why I suggested we get his paper. With everyone else, we haven't. It's not like we don't want people to think that we are suggesting you do that because we want to get paid. We're not doing it. We're just like you. You're putting your PayPal up, so are we. So, and the next one should, and so should you, and so should you. Why shouldn't we? Everyone else is doing it.
I mean, if you're at a live, if you're at a live gig, you get tips. Like it,
Well, I have. I've got photos of $100 notes shoved down my bra. I don't know how it happened. Brad said it happened.
I got them out earlier.
To tell us how Brad gets in the mood.
What venues you been playing at?
Steve wants to put his bra on.
I think she might have heard you wrong. He said tips, not tits. I think you got that wrong.
I looked down and there was a puddle of coins at my feet. I thought, what am I doing? Busking?
I actually took one. I have to admit, I took money one night for a fella that came up to me and asked if he could pay me to have a photo taken with Debbie. And I said, yes, you can.
Poor bastard didn't
Thank
get
you very much. $40 photo with Debbie, sweet. That bought us a couple of bottles of wine.
Hi, Mum.
Oh, is that your mum?
Yay.
Hey, mum. Hey, mum.
Hey, Mum.
There you go.
Oh, I love you.
Sing a song, Mum.
Oh, Mum, get your keyboard out.
That's awesome. It's fantastic.
So you're going to play us out, Doug? Do a song or what?
No. Well, maybe, but I haven't actually set anything up. But probably not this week. But I do want to say the strangest tip I ever got. I did a gig. I think it was in Rockhampton or Gladstone. I can't remember. Someone gave me their car keys, and they gave me a car for playing guitar.
Cool.
There you go.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Then
I went out and looked at the car, and I gave him back. So I didn't want to say
Doug, it's funny you should say Gladstone, because I was in Gladstone once at the Rocky Glen and had a guy give me his keys to a brand new Monaro. And he said, take it for a spin. And I've been drinking. It's the only reason I actually bloody didn't. But I went to the car park and I sat in the thing and dreamt about it.
Oh, we know what that man wanted to do, don't we?
Yeah.
Changing gears.
He didn't even follow me out. It was just a brand new Monaro. Gave me the keys to Monaro and said, there you go. I'd love you to take my car for a drive. Oh, wow, okay.
Oh,
That's because he was standing behind you and he had the long hair at the time.
So maybe,
get off the flashcard.
So maybe over to Steve to finish off that question. I got one more question and we're out. So Steve, what's your view on live streaming? And also, I'm sure there's lots of laws that's still getting developed for this, but musicians making money out of it. Here we go. Oh, Lisia's just put something out here. I paid my rent in Austria with tips only from 2.5. That's from doing gigs in Austria. Thanks,
That's
Licia.
awesome, Licia.
Yay.
But yeah, Steve, what's your points on no bra tips? Oh, Debbie. Oh.
I'll come to your next gig.
All right. Okay, Steve.
Look, mate. If I'm pretty lucky. For me, music was always a secondary thing. I grew up in a musical family, but I ran my background's motor mechanics. I did that for 39 years. So for me, I always had a trade to fall back on, and music was a secondary thing.
Yeah.
When I retired from the motor industry, music became my first thing. And so at the moment, I don't have an income like you guys. There's no income whatsoever. I'm just lucky my wife still has a job. So I think as far as getting paid, to me, I never did it to make money. I think growing up with music, it's in you. It's like Kelly, it's in you. You do it because you love doing it. And if you can make money out of it, that's a bonus.
Yeah, exactly.
So apart from this bloody arm injury, since I was the age of 10, I've not lived in a house that hasn't had a guitar in it. That's all I've done. Every time I've got a minute, I pick a guitar up. If I feel sad, I pick a guitar up. If I feel happy, I pick a guitar up. That's how I am. So the thing I miss is the interaction with people. That's the thing I miss. But I think as far as if you are a full-time musician, an amount of hours people put into practice, rehearsal, gear, travel, you should get reimbursed for that. And that's, I think, where Look, I know, man. I've had people say to me, "Why don't you get a real job?" Hang on, it is a real job, and this is the problem with arts. You can be a sculptor, a painter, a musician. They're all grouped in the same category as not being a real job. So, I think for me, what Carl does, runs open mics, and Deb and Brad, and for me, I do get paid to do that, and and because we've outlaid a lot of bloody money to make it work and to keep the upkeep and keep it going, you could not do that without an income.
So, and how rubbish would the world be without those things?
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, Steve. This is from Johnny. He's currently on Victoria's Secret website looking for brass. Debbie, you've started something because he wants tips.
Look, man,
Just don't burn them.
I remember the whole before the COVID thing. For me, the pub scene has changed. Generations have changed. I remember when I was growing up as a kid, like when I was in my teens, I go to the pub 4 nights a week to see live entertainment. That's what I went for, to see the bands. And that doesn't happen anymore. People. I think like I said, people change. Times change. And it's very expensive now to go out and actually see a live band. The drinks are ridiculously priced. Uber, because you can't drive. Yeah, exactly. If you're going to eat, and it gets to a point where people won't go, no matter how good the act is, they just won't go. So, and that's what I found. Like that's why, for a start, that with the Musos Jam, we got in the door because they were paying, full-time musos good money that couldn't bring anyone in that door, no matter how good they were. And they were some of them were brilliant musicians. So unless you can supply your own renter crowd, the pub can't sustain it. So we're lucky because we do bring a renter crowd, and I think
That's not luck, Steve.
No, thanks, mate.
That's your reward of hard graft, man. That's all.
Yeah, well, mate, for me, like I love you
No,
guys.
it's so true.
And I tell you, I always say, whenever we don't do it for the money, we do it, for the love of you folks. Like Tony's doing a bit tough because he misses all you guys, and it's hit him a lot harder than what he thought it would. And for us, it's about the interaction. Get to talk and hug you guys and listen to some awesome fucking musicianship. So as far as the live streaming goes, I don't know how you're going to get people to pay enough for a musician to make an income out of it when they aren't going to get off their butt and go down and support the local live scene.
Okay.
Especially today, man, people are lazy. Like
it's an audience.
They wanted everything easy, and by doing this,
can't replace that person-to-person contact. That's what I was saying about being, in a packed beer garden before. Like you can't replace that. It's not the same sitting in your lounge room. So I reckon there'll always be some sort of call for it, eh? So
I think there always will be. I know, like the music scene's changed, and for me, I'm a die-hard rock fanatic, and I love going to see live music because I just love music. I think that's the difference. Like, we grew up in a generation where we had some phenomenal music going on when we were growing up, and for us, it was about going to see it live. That's what we did. Like I said, for me, it was 3 to 4 nights a week, every week. So
that's good. That's good.
Yeah, but it just doesn't seem to happen, mate, these days. Like I've gone and supported mates' bands, and they're playing to the bar staff and 4 people, and I was one of those 4 people. Like that's just ridiculous.
So, well, I think you brought up a good point there about an audience shift. The other thing that I'm sort of worried about, and hence why I'm actually doing this show, because I don't actually get paid for this, and I can't tell you how many hundreds of hours I've spent in the last 6 weeks putting shows together. But anyway, rock and roll.
Yeah.
So, because I guess having having conversations, things will change. by actually, getting your ideas out. So here's an idea. There was a good lead up to it. Is about, getting the people to actually adjust the audience. But the other idea that I'm worried about is musicians going, oh, can't do it, it's too hard. I have to go and get a real job because the scene's caved and it's not coming back anytime soon. But anyway, so we'll probably see a lot of holes in the talent pool, right? So,
well, man, I went to an Yngwie Malmsteen guitar clinic, and Yngwie, he actually said that this is not the 80s anymore. You can't go and buy 12 Ferraris and a mansion and live like a millionaire. He said the real truth is that most musicians today will need a second job for their income. And I think too is that venues, most musicians are underpaid, and there's not enough venues for the number of musicians that we have that are looking for work.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's a hard road, man.
Yeah. So I guess maybe to sum that up, and we'll do the last question. This situation has really brought about the musicians owning the business side, because there's two part of any artist. You can be extremely talented, but that means nothing if you can't sell it, right? So hence why we're doing this. But just maybe go around the last round. So here we go, Charlotte. Maybe from your experience with the live streaming, because we're talking about, and also real, going to the open mics, what's maybe some encouragement that you can pass on? Just a couple of ideas, or
to people. Well, I'd say definitely go to a live open mic. Definitely, I think it's a magical place to be. The people that go, the people that run them, just to get more out of life. I think it's a brilliant thing to do. And also with the live streaming, I think it's lovely to do that too. I think, especially doing it live, it's very different than posting a video as well.
Maybe
you can engage with your audience. Yeah.
So maybe I should have framed the question differently. What advice would you give to someone who's thinking about this? So instead of just saying, what advice would you give to someone that they would get out of it, so to speak, from this experience?
Well, I guess making new friends and just enriching your life. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that you're very poignant, isn't it? You're straight on.
Don't mess around, no.
Must be Oxford University speaking.
Absolutely.
So, Carl, so what's some pointers you can pass on to people up and coming, doing, the real deal or virtual?
If you're in doubt, get out and have a go. Try both, and then you'll know.
Cool. And Kelly?
What was the question again, Doug?
So what's some advice people thinking about live streaming? What advice can you give them? Or, they're thinking about actually going to an open mic. Words of encouragement. You're actually good at this, Kelly. We should have saved you till last.
Do the live streaming, definitely. Do the live streaming. But, if you have even the slightest musical bent about you, get along to your local open mic. And, Debbie's done a fantastic job. You cannot not find an open mic anywhere on the Gold Coast and Northern Rivers, because Deb's put a massive compendium of all of those together. So you don't have an excuse.
Thanks, Kelly.
And then once you experience that, like I say, you only need the smallest musical bend about you.
Yeah.
And it won't take you long to find that open mic that resonates completely at the same frequency as you, because there's so many different types. The reason I go to the Musos Jam on Friday nights is because I see some of the best musos on this planet at that jam, literally. The reason I go down to Troy Cox's at the Tumby Jam is because there's a bunch of guys down there that groove like I groove, and they play the blues that I love to play. But every open mic I go to with Wesley, and I always refer to Wesley because I'm rarely at an open mic without him. And he's kind of a little bit of a safety blanket for me because he makes everything sweet.
He's cool.
So that's exactly what Carl said. Do them both, and then you'll know. But I just want to answer a couple of other points, if I may, Dave, just before.
Yeah, go for it.
People talking this stuff about, like I recently had an incident where someone said, if you had a real job, you wouldn't be in this position. Well, I'm like, ooh, I had to bite my tongue really hard, because I know a jet airline pilot who works for a major international airline, and he's packing shelves in an Aldi.
Yeah.
I know another one, who is packing shelves. They've had to find other work. Just because we're musos doesn't mean there's other people that aren't really being adversely affected by this whole situation.
Yes.
And when you say, "Oh, get a real job," fuck you and your petty little mind.
Yeah.
The joy I bring in the rest homes that I play in
Is our
all the
real
reward
job.
I need. That's a
more than a
real
job.
job, and I don't have to validate myself to anybody just
Well
because
said.
I'm a musician that's out of work.
Well said,
I'll
Kelly.
validate myself before I let anyone try to invalidate me.
Yes.
So there's that, but there's also the aspect that people are out there
Set-
talking about, the government's left us high and dry. The government's done exactly the same to us as they've done to everyone else in the situation. You've got an opportunity to go for a job seeker. You've got an opportunity to go for every other thing. Or you can look for that alternative job, just like our friend, like Carl and I. We've got a mate. He's a pilot for an international airline, a major international airline. He's out of work, just like everyone else. So that's my 5 cents worth.
Yeah, that's all right. That's cool.
Mm.
And Brad and Deb, so any piece of advice for people thinking about live streaming? Or,
Hang
going
on,
to
so
an
I just
open
want to
mic?
follow on what Kelly just said. That's
Sure.
absolutely right, eh? Because this is our job. We gave up our real jobs 6-7 years ago just to pursue music full time with each other, and it seems to be
Thanks,
working.
Johnny.
We're paying
Thanks,
our bills.
Johnny.
Our lights are still
Thanks,
on.
John.
We still have nice things, like we are making our living this way as well. At the same time as we're getting out there and we're opening up our doors to meet people at open mics and that kind of thing, and building our music community. I like to call it a family. I think everyone's like family. Yes. I see someone, like Carl. We hardly even know Carl. We met him once, and we feel like we've known him our whole life. Same as Kelly. All you guys. That's what it's like. So yeah. You can talk now, but I just wanted to add to that after what you said, Kelly, that people treat it like it's not a real job.
Look,
it is a real job.
I think most of those people are actually probably jealous.
Working hard.
On a Monday morning at 9:30 in the morning, 10 o'clock in the morning, I'm still snoozing, guys. Bugger you. You can sit in your cars, you can drive to work, and you can sit there in the smoko room every morning and be stuck there for 9 hours if you want. Like Kelly said, we don't need to validate ourselves. We're professionals. We've been doing this a long time. It's a business and an industry just like any other.
Yeah.
As far as online streaming and open mics goes, I'd like to encourage everyone to go out to an open mic. I'd also like to say that there is quite a few different levels of skill at these open mics. So you might be going there to play your first ever song, or you might be someone like Kelly that goes along and just contributes. And we really appreciate those people as well. The people you'll get to meet and network with and just throw the shit around with, but really, it makes it all worthwhile. And it's a great breeding ground. It's an awesome place to develop yourself, see what other musos are doing, the successful ones and the amateur ones.
To get to our level.
To get to the level where you need to be out there doing it as a job like we can.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there you go. That's my 2 cents.
Yeah, sorry, I was just in the background there helping.
We couldn't hear him then.
And I can't wait till Monday morning when all you suckers are driving to work in the traffic. What a good time.
Okay,
Brad,
and
you hit it on the head, mate. I was just thinking that you said exactly what I was thinking of saying, is that the people who don't call it a real job are jealous.
Exactly.
Because they are stuck in a job they absolutely hate.
Hey.
That's right.
And we're doing stuff that we love doing.
And what a blessing is that? It's an absolute blessing. To get to do what you love doing, you've won, I reckon, in the game of life.
Yeah, my dad always used to say to me, he said, if you can make money out of doing something that you love doing, you just found your perfect income, like you found your perfect job.
That's it.
And that's how it should
won
be.
The game, eh?
Exactly. Yep. And like what
what's the job?
What Kelly was saying is that we had a muso chat last week, and after that I had a couple of messages and phone calls from some of the guys, and what it was heartfelt stuff. Like they were so appreciative of what we actually do, and that's why I do it. Like I get joy out of bringing joy to other people, and that's to me. That's what it's about. I think.
Me too.
Yeah. So anyway, as far as that goes, if someone's going to do a live streaming thing, I think you really need to use the best sound quality you got, because you don't want to undersell yourself, because not all publicity is good publicity. So because
Carl, are you listening, Carl?
At least he played the chords right.
Didn't use his toes, his tongue.
Because the worst thing is
you can. That would have been great.
Because the thing is, you can be really good at what you do, but you can do yourself an injustice. So I think, if you're going to do it, make sure you got your shit together, and I invite everybody and anybody to have a go, and support your live venues.
Well, I guess in closing that, I would say don't be scared of it, because does anyone remember what was on the newspaper front page like a week ago? Does anyone?
No.
Anyone?
No, that's my point. So my point is that front page news is gone. There's so much content that happens in our world. Don't be scared of if you accidentally screw up or whatever. Just I think going live, the humility that's actually exposed is a beautiful thing, because that what happens in imperfection, you get to see people's real personalities when things go
Definitely.
wrong. But
That's it. Must be the last one.
What's that? Sorry.
The biggest lesson that's come out of this, Doug, I think for everybody is.
I'm just
What's that,
joking.
Sorry.
I'm
just saying. I think the biggest lesson that's come out of this for everybody is that it's been a lesson in innovation. Like they say, innovation is the father of invention. Sorry, necessity is the father of invention. And we've all had to innovate and get onto this new streaming stuff, getting live, even having these conversations, these live forums with you.
Yeah.
And it's always been my experience my whole life. The sooner you embrace change, the sooner it becomes the norm.
That's right.
That's exactly. And I think everybody that I've been seeing live streaming, they've all embraced the change, and now live streaming literally is the norm, because that's the necessity that's been created.
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Well, I'd like to say thank you all very much, but stay on the line. So better raise your glass if you still have one, Deb. No.
Deb.
Mine's enough.
There we go. Well, thank you very much. Good night, but
yes, Doug.
But please stay on the line for 20 seconds when I pull you from the feed. Don't hang up just yet. But so I'll just start pulling everyone. Here we go. We got there you go. I hope pubs blah 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 blah. Yeah, thank you, Graham. Here we go. And pull this one. Whoop. And there we go. So thanks very much for tuning in and watching. This went a little bit longer than anticipated, but it happens, rock and roll. But these are great people doing great things for our industry. So we need your help to like and subscribe and support it. So I think on YouTube, mine's down there. But everyone here, please like their pages and share this stuff. There's some great talent out there. But right now, the only platform we have to share it is through you guys doing it on the interweb. So please like and subscribe. See you soon.